makakausap natin ngayon si Danilo Araw. Siya po'y Associate Professor ng Department of Journalism sa University of the Philippines. Magandang gabi po, Prof. Araw.
Yes, magandang gabi sa iyo, Corina. Nice to see you again. Long time no see.
Kahapon lang po, magkasama po tayo.
Yes.
Opo. So, do you find this restrictive and discriminatory? Ito pong mga bagong guidelines na kung hindi pa daw umaabot ng 5 taon, ang isang kumpanya hindi pwedeng magpadala ng mga kinatawan sa Malacanang para mag-cover.
Tama ka, medyo restrictive. Gaya ng sinabi ng NUJP and to some extent ng MPC, talagang dapat nating makita kung ano yung problema. Kasi batay sa pahayag ni Undersecretary Castro, who happens to be also at the debate last night, nabanggit na may problema raw sa ilang mga periodista, hindi niya pinangalanan, na inaabuso raw yung kanyang accreditation o yung kanyang press card. Kung may problema, it can be settled internally, hindi naman kailangang magkaroon ng napaka-restrictive na guidelines. Kasi halimbawa, yung qualification is better off defined by the respective news media organizations, gaya ng Billionario News Channel, less than 5 years, bagamat may mga periodista dyan na more than 5 years na sa profession. Pero dapat nasa discretion ng BNC kung sino yung i-assign sa Malacanang beat. And I take issue dun sa provision, let me just read it out loud, immediate revocation of accreditation for any misconduct, false reporting, security violations, and any falsification, misrepresentation in the submission of documents. Yung phrase na misconduct at saka yung fake news o yung false reporting, parang anti-terror law yan, it can be interpreted either way, na nabanggit nga ni Jonax Santos ng NUJP na may overreach dimension yon. Baka anything can be disregarded as false reporting. Baka magkamali ka lang ng spelling sa reportage mo, maano ka na, mapatawan ka na ng sanction. Not that it's gonna happen under the leadership of Claire, pero dapat maging maingat pa rin tayo sa paglalabas ng guidelines.
Parang ngayon lang po ako nakarinig ng ganito. Ito po ba ay ayon sa saligang batas? Is it even constitutional? O ito po ba'y lumalabag sa karapatang pantao din ng mga mamamahayag para magkaroon ng access sa Malacanang?
Tama po kayo. Kumbaga, we have to make information as accessible as possible, not just to the media, but also to the public. We have to be as inclusive as possible. Maintindihan naman natin yung need for a certain degree of accreditation and a certain degree of regulation sa pagpasok sa Malacanang, both for security reasons and the fact na yung press room o yung briefing room napakaliit physically, kaya dapat piling-pili lang yung makakapasok at may proper accreditation. Pero as much as possible, Malacanang should take on a more inclusive approach. In fact, sila nga dapat mag-adjust sa media kung masyado nang maliit yung briefing room o yung press room na nagmi-meeting or nagbibigay ng briefing si Claire, dapat mas malaki, mas luwagan. In other words, sila yung dapat mag-adjust at dapat yung bilang ng mga i-accredit mas marami pa nga hanggat maaari.
Mayroon po bang karapatan ng Malacanang in the first place na gumawa po ng ganitong mga restrictions? At ito po ba'y pwedeng ilaban sa korte kung sakaling gustong labanan ng mga news outfits?
Okay, medyo tricky yung question na yan. Legally, yes. And in fact, there had been times, halimbawa, in the previous administration, merong basta-basta na lang na nababan dahil sa critical na pagre-report at dahil questionable at inaatake ng Malacanang noon yung isang news media organization. So, tandang-tanda natin yun. So, nangyayari siya. Pero, just because it's legal, it doesn't mean that it is right. In the same way, just because they can do it, it doesn't mean that they would be doing it with impunity. Kasi yung kalayaan po sa pamamahayag, dapat ay pinoprotektahan yan ng lahat. Kasama na po yung gobyerno. Kaya ang mensahe po natin sa PCO, especially to our friend Undersecretary Claire Castro, dapat po maging kakampi siya ng media kahit bahagi po siya ng gobyerno at sikapin niya na yung guidelines kung meron mang ilalabas would be, number one, done in consultation with the proper news media organizations and the press corps and other related organizations. Pangalawa, dapat mas self-regulation yung framework at yung mindset natin. Forget about those stringent requirements like 5 years, yung mga certification, etc., etc. Let the Malacanang Press Corps provide the necessary accreditation. Kung ang PCO ay may tiwala sa MPC, makapag-vouch lang yung MPC dun sa integridad ng isang periodista o ng isang news media organization, that should be enough. Dapat mutual yung tiwala po sa bawat isa.
So huling tanong na lamang po, ano po ang last resort ng isang media organization kung hindi po magbabago ng isip ang Malacanang?
Siyempre, pwede po itong idulog sa proper courts. These are guidelines and we can always invoke the constitutional provision na among others, no law shall be passed abridging freedom of the press. Wag na sanang hintayin pa ng PCO na ito ay maging press freedom issue. Tandaan po natin, these are guidelines. These are supposed to be technical matters that can be taken care of internally by the news media organization. At kung kailangan ng accreditation or whatever consultation there may be as to whether or not legit ba itong media na to o itong periodistang to, kayang-kaya na po yan ng MPC. Maliit lang po ang mundo ng media. According to the study by Hanich et al., there are around 3,500 journalists nationwide. Hindi naman lahat ng 3,000. It's not as if all 3,500 are applying for accreditation. I would even venture to guess less than 100 lang kasi hindi naman kasama yung community press kadalasan sa nagpapa-accredit. So let MPC be consulted about it. Let's lessen the complication. Let's make the process more predictable.
Okay, so hindi pa naman po daw pinal, hihintayin po natin kung ano po ang kanilang pasya. Maraming salamat, Danilo Araw, Associate Professor ng UP Department of Journalism.